One sunny day in the kitchen, Mama had a big, happy smile. She said to Lele, Hey and Jut, we are going to do something fun today. Good evening, and welcome. How nice of you to come and listen to the stories about our sweet little monkey, Lele. Pumpkin faces. We are going to visit Abuelo and Abuela, said Mammy. We're going to their garden to pick beautiful, big pumpkins. These pumpkins will be our new lanterns for the front door. We'll take out the flesh inside and use it to make delicious food. Dada was also excited and said, I'm going to use the pumpkin flesh to make my famous risotto, and Abuela will make her delicious pumpkin soup. The tummies of Lele, Habi, and Jip made hungry noises because they knew the food would be so delicious. Mama explained, after we empty the pumpkins, we make faces in them. Then we will put lights in them. When they are done, we will put the pumpkins by the front door. The lights in the pumpkins will then shine by the front door so that it looks like a magical, happy place. Lele, Jut, and Habi were so happy. They loved being with Abuelo and Abuela, and this pumpkin adventure sounded super fun. When they arrived at Abuelo and Abuela's house, the air smelled like delicious flowers and fresh pumpkins. The children couldn't hide their excitement. When they arrived at Abuelo and Abuela's house, they were greeted with big hugs and smiles. Then they all went outside to the beautiful garden. The garden was full of colorful flowers and all kinds of vegetables. But today it was all about the pumpkins. The pumpkins were big, round, and glowing in the warm sun. Lele, Habi, and Jut all got to pick a pumpkin. Lele looked carefully at the different pumpkins. They were all beautiful, but some were very big, and some were smaller. When Lele found his pumpkin, he pointed it out to Abuelo. Abuelo, I would like that one, said Lele. That's good, my dear boy, said Abuelo. Abuelo grabbed his big knife from the table, cut the pumpkin loose, and gave it to Lele. Lele could only just carry the pumpkin because it was very heavy and big. Carefully, he walked to the table where Dada was already waiting. Abuela called the children to the kitchen so they could wash their hands first. When they returned to the garden, Dada was waiting. Dada carefully cut off the tops of the pumpkins. They were like little hats. Lele watched with big, wide-eyed eyes. Dada showed the seeds and the soft, orange stuff inside. Abuela said, we are going to use everything and not waste anything. She gave Lele, Habi, and Jut a big spoon, and together they scooped out all the seeds. Abuela planned to dry the seeds, some for the birds, and the rest to put in Abuela's yummy bread. Then they pulled out the soft, bright orange pumpkin flesh. Dada cut it into small pieces and got ready to bake it in the oven. Meanwhile, he had also set up rice with tasty broth for his famous risotto. Abuela got the other part of the flesh and started making the most delicious pumpkin soup with her soft hands. She added herbs and spices and turned the pumpkin into a warm, delicious soup that made everyone happy. When they finished emptying the pumpkins, it was time for the most exciting part. Mama gave Lele, Jut, and Habi markers, and they drew crazy faces on the pumpkins. Dada gave Jut and Habi a big sharp knife to carve out the faces. Lele was too small to use a big knife, so Abuelo helped him make a friendly pumpkin face. When the faces were ready, Mama picked up the candles and carefully lit them. The lights in each pumpkin gave off a flickering light, making the carved faces even more beautiful. They put the pumpkin hats back on. The monkey family stepped back and looked proudly at their creations. The pumpkins had their own personalities, each with a different expression. After the delicious food of the pumpkin soup with bread and the well-filled risotto, they thanked Abuelo and Abuela for the nice day and the lovely food. Dada, Mama, Lele, Jut, and Habi went home again. It was already dusk. Lele, Habi, and Jut were allowed to take home their pumpkins with the lights in them. They walked happily with their pumpkin lanterns to the tree house. Arriving at the tree house, they put the lanterns by the front door. It looked cozy. Lele said, "Sleep well to the pumpkins," and they went inside. That night, Lele dreamed about pumpkins and smiles. Good night, little ones.